This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. And please excuse my voice. My voice is a little bit hoarse. Plus, there's allergies and all kinds of things going on that I'm dealing with. So, my voice is a little bit scratchy right now. But, we got the panel here. We about to go ahead and get this thing on and popping. Steph is in the building. Isaiah, Andy, and Nate is in the building. Steph, what's happening with you today? How you feeling?
I feel pretty good, Sam. Looking forward to the channel. Salute to everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat.
Yeah, no doubt. Andy?
Sim, what's up? Firstly, I want to say hi to the starting 5 of the NBK fam today. I want to congratulate you on the championship you got this week. And I want to say 2 more things. One, the NBA All-Star Weekend was trash. And I didn't see anything else but like 2-3 minutes of highlights, and I don't care about it. The other thing is I want to say sorry because I was supposed to do the pre-game show for the Pacers. I literally did almost photoshopped all the screen sets and stuff like that. And then it was so late that I decided I'm going to not butcher the show just to go online for like 20 minutes. So I decided, I'm going to pass on it. But next time, bro, I'm going to be ready.
All right, hey, I get it. No worries, man. No worries. Nate, what's going on?
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Sim, congratulations on the chip.
Yep.
And
congrats.
I will second Andy's point. I actually watched more XFL than I watched All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch much of All-Star Weekend. I did watch the All-Star game. I didn't get a chance to watch much of anything else. And the All-Star game was terrible. I mean, for me, this might have been the worst one yet. Even with the change in format, it was just terrible. Just
They get
run
worse
up and
every
down,
year,
throw the
man.
ball around. Honestly, they say, well, because guys have names, it's going to be popular. But what you've seen guys do at the All-Star game, you can see at any playground. Not any playground, but you can see at playgrounds across the country, right? If they're not really playing hard, you know what I'm saying? You can see those same things. So it wasn't really entertaining. It might be entertaining to the people that's there in the building, but for those watching at home, I don't think it's that entertaining at all. You know what I mean? I don't know. They got to do something with it. I don't know what, but they got to figure out something to make it more interesting than what it is right now. As far as the championship, man, I'm so proud of those ladies for the work that they put in. They've been resilient all season long. You know what I mean? Put in a lot of hard work. Started the season 1-5, and went through so many ups and downs, and losing games where they had big leads, and then struggling in third quarters, and every single obstacle, we found a way to overcome it in the following game. We had injuries. We were down 2 starters. You know what I mean? And the only obstacle that we hadn't overcome was beating this team. This was the only undefeated team in our conference. They beat us twice. We beat everybody else, but they beat us twice. So this was the only obstacle we hadn't overcome, and we did it in the championship game. So it was a great night. It was really a great night. Now we're on to independent league state tournament, and we'll see how we do there. 2 teams that were in our league are also in that tournament. You know what I mean? But the fact that we won, the league itself is kind of a Cinderella story by itself. I mean, because we weren't, from the beginning of the season, we wasn't supposed to be there. You know what I mean? And then to get there and have 2 starters out, and the girls still stepped up and were able to play. I'm just proud of them. In the work that they put in. So, we'll see what we can do in the state tournament that starts in about a week. We got a week to prepare for it and whatnot. But I want to talk about, Isaiah, what's going on, man? You made it back from Cuba. You're alive. You're living. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. First and foremost, Sim, shout out to you and the girls, man. Congratulations. I told you from the start, Sim, believe in them. Sim didn't believe in them. I did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it's okay, Sim. I told you they was gonna win, but you ain't want, I won a lot of money on them too. So shout out to them.
Right.
Nah, man, but I had a great time, man. Cuba was a beautiful experience. Spent 7 days there. Really awesome. Like I said, I couldn't find Tupac, couldn't find Asada, but it's all right. I'll be back soon. But no, I really had an awesome time, man. Between Andy's commenting on stuff, it was really great though. Really, really eye-opening experience. Really beautiful, great. The people were actually very nice. We got lost a couple times. It wasn't because of me. She got us lost, but the people helped us out. So it was great, man.
Yeah, blame her when she's not here to defend us.
Right.
When
Hey,
she's
listen,
not here
We
to
know it's
defend
you that
herself.
got lost.
Hey, 110%, man.
Right.
When she's around, though, we both got lost.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Uncle Fulio, what's going on, man?
Afternoon, everybody. Afternoon, Steph, Isaiah, Nate, Andy, Coach Carter. Sim. Congratulations.
Delilah.
Coach Carter lost. Sim won.
Oh.
Right. Congratulations, though. Honestly, congratulations,
Appreciate
Sim.
it.
That's awesome. Phenomenal. Big ups to the girls. And I'm just happy to talk about Knicks. Second half of the season is upon us. Well, final quarter of the season is upon us. In NBA terms, the second half of the season for us. And hopefully we can, continue to play strong and, make our way up into the top 6 and stay there to solidify a playoff spot. So we'll see.
Yeah. Right now we're in the top 6, actually, because we're a half a game above Miami right now. We'll see if we can stay in the top 6, maybe even move up to 5th in the Eastern Conference. We'll talk about that. But in order for the Knicks to do that, they're going to need RJ. So I want to talk about RJ. And really, that's what this show is going to be about, RJ. We can touch on some other things, but what does RJ have to do for the Knicks to be successful? That's what I really want to get into. The first half of the season, if this is what you want to call the first half of the season, he's averaged 19.7 points, 5.2 rebounds, 2.8 assists, shooting 42.8% from the field and 32.3% from 3. He's shooting 74.7% from the free throw line. All right, his numbers look good, but the percentages aren't really that good. All right, 43% from the field, 32% from the three-point line. The Knicks need RJ, I think, if they're gonna advance into the top 5, if they're gonna remain in the top 6 or advance to the top 5, they're gonna need RJ. Steph, what do you see? What does RJ have to do? And if he can't do it, what should happen?
It seems more mental to me, Sam, because like you said, statistically, it looks similar to last year. But if you're watching him on a day-to-day basis, it's not the same. And that was the same thing with Julius Randle last year. You looked at his stats, you're like, oh, it's not that much off of his All-NBA season. But if you watched the games, you knew something was off. Something is off with RJ Barrett. I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't, people in the chat, say he's pressing. I see him taking good shots. Like, I don't see him forcing the 3. I don't see him forcing himself to the rim like he did earlier in the season. The shots he's taking are good shots. But when you shoot back-to-back air balls, that's telling me that something is off. And I'm not sure it's mechanical. I think is more than that. He might have put on some weight to try to get stronger, maybe to play the 3 position, and maybe that's why he's looking really slow laterally on defense. I can't put my finger on it, but he's off. He's off right now. Obviously, it's easy to say He needs to hit more of his 3-pointers. He needs to finish, better, better at the rim. But that just has not been him since he's been in the league. I don't know if we can expect that coming back off the break. I think he should just focus on the little things. I think he's focusing too much on trying to get 20 points. I think it's irrelevant. Just focus on the other things. But the other thing, Sim, I think we can do it if he doesn't improve. I just think it would be easier if he does improve.
Okay.
Like, I think if he doesn't improve, we would need Grimes to step up. He's a second-year player. We need Hart to really continue. We would need other people to step up a little.
Right.
Obviously, if he was the one to step up, it would be much easier for us because of his usage and how many shots he takes.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if maybe when people say he's pressing, maybe they mean he's pressing mentally.
Right.
Instead of physically on the floor, but like putting a little bit of pressure on himself, to perform at a certain level, especially because Brunson and Randall are performing at a certain level. So maybe he's just pressing mentally a little bit. I don't know. Isaiah, what do you think? Is he pressing mentally? Or it's right at this point, people always say, "Oh, RJ, always starts slow," but this is longer than a slow start now.
Hey,
way
Sam.
longer than a slow start.
Sam, everybody knows how I feel about RJ. Me and Josh, we go at it about RJ. But I'm here to say that I'm concerned now. I'm concerned because the defense looks horrible. No, he's not going to come off the bench. But truthfully, it's the defense that's worrying me more than anything. I'm not worried about the shooting. I mean, I had to say it. I got to say it. We got to call a spade a spade. He's an inefficient shooter. I can't keep using the excuse for him that during the season, if you take these X amount of games out, he's actually shooting. Nah, his whole career he's been about 42, 43%. I was hoping this season he'll be at 45. That was my goal for him. That's probably not gonna. That's not gonna happen. I do agree with Steph. I think he's worrying about getting 20 points. And he's taking a lot of shots, and like you said, they're not bad shots. They're not shots. RJ's not taking crazy shots. It's more about he's just he's. I feel like just something going on. It says, Sim, you know what this reminds me of, and you said it last year. There's always going to be a bad guy for the Knicks every season. It doesn't fail. A couple years ago, it was Elfrid Payton. Last year, it was Julius Randle. Now I see between Knicks Twitter and Knicks fans, it's RJ Barrett.
Yeah. And I'm not even trying to do this show to bash RJ. That's not what I want, because I still believe in him and that he can perform and be, I'm not trying to get on here and say trade him and do all that, because I see a bunch of people, really,
Sam, I see
really bugging
I see
out.
it all the time.
You know what I'm saying about RJ? I'm not even trying to do that. I just want to talk about what he needs to do to perform better to help the Knicks during this stretch run.
Yeah, so for what RJ has to do to get better, it's like what Steph says. I think Steph said it perfectly. He has to worry about the little things right now. He has to worry about his defense, worry about his positioning. I mean, Sim, we've been talking about it since his rookie year. Him just getting beat backdoor, him falling asleep. He has to worry about those things. And to be fair, I know he's looking at it. He's looking at the tape. He said he was going to look at the tape during the offseason. He's going to take a couple of days, which he should do. Take a couple of days off. Don't even think about basketball. And then, get back to work. I think he will be fine. Out of all the players that, that have slumps, I think RJ is the best equipped to get out of a slump, because I don't think he truly lingers that long on the slumps. I know he wants to work. It's just, I'll say this too, Sim. I think I talked about it before. I think there's something seriously wrong with his ankle, because he can't be this bad on defense. It's something that you can't be this bad unless you're, the offensive juggernaut. You just save all your energy for offense. I think he needs to have ankle surgery. I've been saying that since a couple years ago with his ankle. But in the meantime, again, I think it's his foot positioning that he has to get on defense. Again, he's letting guys blow past him, so he has to work on that. I think he needs to use his strength a little bit more, and also too, so maybe he needs to lose a little weight because he had to bulk up to play small forward and power forward a little bit. He's been asked to guard those guys, so I think he bulked up. And I know he's not going to lose weight now because that's not going to happen. But I think that would help him in the future. But I think he needs to get his quickness because RJ used to be a little more quicker than this. Versus then, like, now he looks slow. So
I don't know if they asked him to bulk up to play power
but I
forward.
think you can see him bulk up because he had to guard.
Maybe remember, he did, but I don't know if it's because they said, "Hey, we need you to guard power forwards and small forwards."
But Sim, he went from
maybe he felt like he was putting on more strength or something.
But my thing is, he went from playing 2 when Reggie Bullock and them was here. Then he's been playing the 3 since last year, and he's been having to guard those guys. So I think he went to bulk up a little bit during the offseason to handle playing with those guys.
I don't know.
I mean, but that would be the defense. The offense is the same. If you look at cleaning the glass, his finishing rate at the rim, mid, 3-point, blue. I mean, this is just RJ Barrett in terms of efficiency. I'm not sure that part is going to get better.
Yeah. Andy.
I get the same question, or we're switching it up.
Same thing.
Okay, so I'm gonna just say that what Steph and Isaiah didn't point to. As far as I know, my idea is on this thing with RJ. It might be mental, it might be physical, meaning that maybe that lacerated finger was bothering him. Maybe it grew some kind of different way or whatever, and it's a little linger in there. But if it's in your shooting hand, that's a problem. And it might be something that's literally bothering him at the offensive end, right?
Mm-hmm.
The defensive end, there's no explanation for that. He's playing terrible defense, not only on the speed-wise, not only strength-wise, or whatever, positioning-wise. It's unacceptable. And we were nagging so many Knicks players in the past that I think the nagging on RJ on the defensive end is actually, nothing bad because we did it to the rest of the players. Well, one thing that I would add also is that I think he didn't expect to be moved literally to the third option on this team coming into the season. And I'm not saying that this was like, okay, I'm going to change up and I was expecting going to take 5 more shots or stuff like that. But since, like Steph said, he's trying to go for that 20-point average, and he's literally the third option on this team. Not only efficiency-wise, they're giving him great shots. He's taking open shots, he's taking good looks and stuff like that. Finishing around the rim, he could tweak the finishing because he doesn't square up to the hoop and stuff. And I think the finishing is not that correct from his point. But the open threes, those are literally open threes, and he's not making them. Question is this physical, mental, and my solution to his game, if he can't get better offensively, just don't take that many shots. We're going to be happy if he scores 18 points or 16 points, but it's going to be like on 8 or 9 shots.
No, he gets 6 points on 8 or 9 shots, given his efficiency.
But Steph,
he might get 4
usage
points.
doesn't need to go down in his shots.
If the usage goes down, maybe he's gonna start hot one game and then he can take those many shots, right? If he doesn't, it's not a thing that he has to take 20 shots because now we got Grimes, we got Hart that can fill in that gap. And I think that's why we actually traded for Josh Hart. He's going to fill in the gaps that RJ didn't, provide for the team this year. The rebounding, and even the stretching the floor with the 3-pointers, right? I think that's really a important factor for this whole Knicks offense. And it's not about taking threes; it's about making them, because nobody's going to chase him around the 3-point line if he's going to be shooting like 22%, right? So, unless he starts to make them, he doesn't have to take them. And I think, when the efficiency numbers go up and other, Knicks players take shots and make them in a higher efficiency and a higher clip than him, I think the whole team is going to be way happier. And we saw that even Josh Hart played 3 games or 4 games with the Knicks, and we already had like a comfortable win, right? One of these games was a really comfortable win. I don't remember if it's if it was versus
it was the Hawks.
We
led a wire to wire.
Yeah, even if it wasn't the wire to wire, I was confident that we're not going to lose that lead, or we had that cushion, that I wasn't afraid that, okay, we're up 20, but listen, we got nobody that can score in this kind of lineup for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to drop the lead, and then it's going to be panic mode, and then we're going to try to play really hero ball and stuff like that. If that's going to be the case, that Josh Hart solves that puzzle piece that we were missing, that extra rebound, those hustle plays that we didn't have a Knicks player on a consistent basis, I think it's going to be way easier for the whole team.
Okay. Leading right into Uncle Fulio, what does Tom Thibodeau do? Right? And I'm just saying for this season, not even thinking about next season, for the remaining 22 games, if RJ just isn't, he's not efficient, he's not playing defense, what do you think Tom Thibodeau does? What would you do?
That was a setup. That was a setup, bro. That was a setup.
Sim think he's slick, man. Sim think he's slick, man.
Sim literally just left out for Josh. Listen, do you think he's going to bench him? Or?
That's what you call a Fox News question. That was a Fox News question right there.
Eddie, the worst part, he was like, what would you do, Josh? What would you do with Tom Thibodeau?
Everyone knows exactly what I would do already, but I just want to say I 100% agree with Andy. And the stats back that up. RJ's second year in the NBA, that was his lowest usage rate as a Knick, somewhere around 23%. He had his best field goal percentages. I think he was shooting the ball 45% from 2 and 40% from 3. He was taking the least amount of shots he's taking per game outside of his rookie year. So I absolutely agree with Andy. I would take the ball out of his hands more. I would relegate him to being more of an off-the-ball player. On this team with Randall and Brunson, he's not going to get the ball that much anyway, and he's not going to get the ball enough to get into that rhythm that we all hope that he's going to get into. So I would just take the ball out of his hands, make him more of an off-the-ball player, and have him play that role. We've seen when RJ Barrett gets in a rhythm of knocking down shots, he can hit those corner 3-pointers. Everyone wants to complain, he kept RJ in the corner. He can occasionally knock that shot down. So I would relegate that spot on the floor for him, and I would make that his role within the offense. To answer the second question you had, Sam, in regards to what is Tom Thibodeau going to do, or what's going to keep him on the floor, it's going to start on the defensive end. He needs to focus all of his energy on the defensive end. Offensively, I think this team can manage with Randall and Brunson being the primary ball handlers, primary facilitators. In order for RJ Barrett to stay on the floor, it needs to happen on the defensive end. It needs to focus on that side of the basketball. With that being said, I think he can do so. To answer your last question, Sam, it's obvious what I would do. Everyone knows what I would do already. So
I don't even think it matters whether he starts or not. He plays better in the fourth quarter. You can't even say as long as he doesn't finish, because he plays actually pretty well in the fourth.
And to be fair, he does hit. And to be fair to RJ, he does hit. I was going to say he hits clutch shots. Yeah, so I know George's joking, but I will say this seriously though. He needs. The defense has to get better, because
100%.
If he gets better, you get 2 players back basically. If RJ plays better, you get RJ and you get Mitch coming back. I like our chances if RJ plays better and Mitch is coming back healthy, with Josh Hart coming off the bench. We can easily be we're going to talk about it, but we can easily be a 5th seed. It just, to me right now, it's RJ, man, and I think Josh said it. I don't know if he expected to be the 3rd option. I don't know what was said to him, but at the end of the day, you got to adjust, man. It's the NBA. Things change. Jalen Brunson.
What is he adjusting to? His usage rate is almost the same as it was last year.
Absolutely.
Some games he takes more shots than Randall and Brunson. It's just that he's so inefficient. He's not scoring as much.
Yeah.
So what is he adjusting to?
As a
He's
matter
getting the same
Yeah,
shots.
as a matter of fact, early in the season, he was leading the team in shot attempts early in the season. Right? He was leading the team in shot attempts. Right now, his usage rate is 25, I believe. That's his usage rate right now, and that's third behind Julius Randle at 28, and I think Jalen Brunson at like 26. I'm gonna confirm.
I mean,
that
also
right
that's
now.
fair too. I mean, everybody's under 30. Again, it's honestly too with the efficiency. I know. Look,
Actually, Trevor Kills leads the Knicks in usage rate at 33.3.
Trevor. Oh no,
I saw that.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Can I just say, Isaiah, real quick? So
no,
to
go
me,
ahead, go ahead, Josh.
I have one of two solutions that Tibbs can go with. Either in the starting lineup, you limit his amount of shots, you limit his usage rate, right? Because I think that's what's going to help his efficiency a little bit, help him knock shots down, maybe knock shots down at the right time within that starting lineup. Or the second thing you do is you put him on the bench, you have his usage rate go up, make him a primary ball handler in that second unit where I think he can flourish more in that role. There's only one of two ways you can do it. But currently, as it stands, with him being the starting lineup, he just can't take the amount of shots that he's taking because he's not knocking them down.
But
Plain and
Josh,
simple.
He's taking shots away from more efficient players.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And Josh, here's the thing too, a little bit. So, two things. Thibs not going to do that because we listen to Thibs all the time, right? Yeah. Thibs has preached this since he's been here. If there's a shot that you like, take it. He'd be more mad if you don't take it. But also what he's been doing, though, is he's rested RJ in the first and then have him come on the second unit at the top so he can do what he wants. Again, right, it's killing us because it's just the inefficiency. And honestly, I have a solution, but that's not going to help us right now. That's help us in the off season. But
I guess that's where also the question comes in when RJ comes in with that second unit, right? Obviously, his usage rate is going to go up more, right, because of who's in the second unit. How do you approach that? Right? How do you approach his usage rate in that second quarter? I guess, second quarter with RJ Barrett. In the second quarters this season, he's still he's shooting a little better, 45% and 34.6% from three. Right, that's what he's shooting in the second quarters. So that's a little bit better. Right. And let's see what he's doing in the third quarters. RJ Barrett in third quarters, 49.8%. And he's shooting 39.7% from three so far in third quarters this season, right? I don't know how much he plays with the bench in the third quarters. Go ahead, Andy, while I'm looking up the fourth quarter.
Sim, I was just going to add, because I also saw those stats that he's playing great in the fourth quarter. He's playing, better as longer, as he's on the court. Sim, you can be on the court. You don't have to take all those shots. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. If you're shooting great in the third quarter, don't shoot in the first and the second one. Start shooting at the third quarter. I'm going to be happy with that.
Listen, there's a certain flow to the offense you got to have. You cannot have people out there and passing up shots.
Listen, for me, it's the same thing. I remember when Fournier was the first year with the Knicks. He clearly said when he was on the Magic, the most points he scored while being on the Magic was in the fourth quarter. What did Tibbs do? First Tibbs adjustment with the minutes was benching Fournier in the fourth quarter. And it was because, of defensive purposes.
Right.
And that's why he didn't average those 18 points or whatever he averaged his whole career. And you can say that, RJ shoots better in the third quarter. Cool. Then just start shooting in the third quarter for me.
Right. So look, RJ in the first quarter, right, he has 4 shot attempts per game, shooting 36.7% from the field and 26.9% from three. That's the first quarter, right? When you get to the second quarter, he has 4.4 shot attempts, shooting 45% from the field and 34.6% from three. When you get to the third quarter this season, RJ he has 4.5 shot attempts, shooting 49.8% from the field and 39.7% from three. Right? And then when we move to the fourth quarter, he's at 38.5% from the field, just about 4 shot attempts, and 26% from 3.
So same amount of
the
attempts
fourth
per
quarter
quarter.
isn't the best one yet, though.
Oh wow.
The third quarter is so.
Right. The third
Listen,
quarter
he's
is
just
his best
playing
one.
He's playing the third
Guys,
quarter.
just to add to all the thing, maybe he needs to switch up his routine. Maybe he needs to warm up half an hour earlier, longer, whatever. Maybe
Okay.
that's the thing for him.
Maybe.
And we know that players, like you said, he's shooting better in the third quarter. Maybe he needs a longer warm up. That's really not rocket science. Just go run around the arena like 30 minutes earlier. Maybe that's the thing that you need to be going. And
Can I say one
maybe
thing
he's going to be shooting better from the get-go.
Can I say one thing before Nate goes? I've been an advocate. I've been wanting this for so long for RJ Barrett to cut to the basket, to move off ball. I hope it makes me so mad because that they don't do this enough with RJ. RJ's a great cutter. I've seen him cut to the basket. He's a great cutter. He's been cutting since college. If he moves all, if he, I feel like if he goes to Thibs and be like, yo, Thibs, give me some off-ball actions, move me around, do some double screens, get me going to the basket. Either two things are going to happen. He's going to get to the basket, and I know him around the basket isn't the best. Should be.
I was about to say,
I know. But I will say this though, Queen. Either that's going to happen or he's going to get fouled. And he's been a better free throw shooter this year. So I'll take the chances of him either going to the line or him trying to make a layup. But I would love to see RJ off the ball, because to me that helps him out efficiently where he's not shooting. It should be almost layups or dunks, or maybe a little a little floater. Do that versus him shooting and having low efficiency, him moving off the ball. I think and also too, that's been a big thing with me. What I don't like about the Knicks is that we don't move off the ball. We have all these athletic guys that we don't have guys running, attacking to the basket off screens. We should be doing that. We have the athletic guys to actually do that. Between Obi, between RJ, between Quick, some of these guys can get to the rim.
RJ's an athletic guy.
Well, Sam.
So
Downhill,
I'm pretty sure Isaiah stole his thought from State. So
I didn't
Andy,
say that.
Andy, I'm gonna pose this question to you. He said, "Let's get to the coach. What can the coach do to get RJ in better spots?"
I agree with State. I agree with State here. The not cutting from Knicks players. I think that's to blame on Tibbs. That's the offense that we play. We are winning games with it. It might not be pretty. We might not use all of the 15-man roster to their certain strengths, but since it's winning us games, it's hard to blame it all on Tibbs, right? Some guys gonna have worse seasons, worse numbers, but we got the most important number, the wins for the whole team.
Yeah.
So it's a sacrifice, right? It could be the same thing with Cam, right? I wasn't an advocate for Cam playing here, but if we're not using him in a correct manner or in his strengths, then we can't play him. So if we're not playing him, it was the right move to trade him.
Can we acknowledge, though, that every team is different and each team has to play to their strengths?
Right.
Can we acknowledge that? I mean, I get it in terms of basketball philosophy and aesthetically. It definitely looks better to have the ball, flying around and things of that sort. But the Knicks offense, statistically anyway, hasn't been a problem all season.
No.
And what I will say for RJ is RJ inefficiency due to the fact that he's not getting good shots? Is RJ's inefficiency due to the fact that he's taking so many contested, crowded shots? I mean, we can change the offense. We can get him going to the basket. RJ is getting open shots. RJ is getting to the basket on anybody. Put him at the 2, put him at the 3. I don't think it matters. He can get to the basket against anybody. He's not finishing, and he's not hitting open shots. What kind of offense can you devise that's going to help him hit a shot?
He's not important enough to change the offense around just for his sake. I'll
And
say.
that too. That
And the same
I'll go
thing
that
was
far.
with Josh. The same thing was with Cam or with even Fournier, whatever. Right? You're not going to change the whole offense for a guy that's playing fifth, sixth fiddle on the team. So
Yeah, I mean, you got to hit your shots if they're open. Nate, would you change some things around or not change some things around, but add something in there at this point in the season? No, definitely
No.
not.
It's
way
22
too late.
games left.
So
way too late to try to do anything.
So here's
you just got to do what you do. But go ahead, Nate.
Here's my thought process on RJ right now. Okay, so the reality is we just paid the guy, so we've made an investment in him going forward. He's very young still. And the fact is that if you look at going forward in the playoffs, and I say playoffs because I really think the Knicks are going to make the playoffs.
Playoffs?
Yeah. You're going to be playing against the top teams unless we find a way to get on a run and get up in the top. It's more likely we're going to be playing against the Bostons, the Milwaukees, I don't know who the third team is. Philly, there you go. So the reality is that they're going to hone in on taking Randall and Brunson out of the equation. We saw that with Randall in the playoffs against the Hawks. And the Hawks are not a very good defensive team, in my opinion, in that year, but you can imagine what the Celtics and the Bucks will coop up. So the reality is that RJ's got to step up his game, period. Like, we don't go past the next round without RJ getting better defensively and being somewhat more efficient with his shots. Like, he is the highest ceiling player we have on this team. He's the third pick of the draft.
No, I don't think so either.
Who's have a higher ceiling than him?
That's a myth. Brunson.
Brunson has a higher.
But I mean, but Brunson was a second round pick. The expectation, I mean, now it is. But what I'm saying is the expectation wasn't like that before.
Right, that's different than ceiling, though. You said expectation is different than ceiling. Way different.
Also, there's reality.
I'm going to cut you off, though. Yeah, and there's that, too. I'm going to cut you off, though, Nate.
I mean, we could go back and forth on that. But the point is what I'm trying to say is that he's got the most potential, in my opinion, outside of maybe Brunson, if you want to say it that way, okay, on this team. Wow. So it's expected that he has to get it right.
So you think he has more potential than Randall? Does he even have the potential to get to where Randall is?
Well, okay, so look at it this point.
I don't even know if RJ has the potential to get to where Randall is right now. I can see him being an all-star, on the air, maybe miss a year.
But are we talking just like overall achievements, or are we talking overall point value? Because he's already at 20 points at 21 years. Okay. Well, then that's a play.
If you take 569 points shots, you're going to get 20 points. I mean, I think we overemphasizing the 20 points. He takes a lot of shots.
Right. But what I'm saying is, think about it. If he makes those easy baskets, he's even averaging more. Like, if he's making those 3-pointers, his clip is a little higher. I'm just saying that at 21 years old, I think the ceiling's very high for this guy, but he's got to get it right with himself. The problem with RJ is he's not consistent. Yeah. Like, there'll be games where he scores 30 points one night, and the next game he's 5 for 19. He's got to get it right.
I mean, he's
now,
bad.
I get it. But what I'm saying is, I feel like where he's at his age and the body he has as an NBA player, I feel like, if he can really commit on the defensive end, first and foremost, I think the offense will come. I really do.
I agree with that.
And let me say this. I think one of the things that would really help him get better at shooting is get to the dang free throw line. Because what's the one thing they say when shooters are struggling at their shot? You got to see the ball go in the hole. So, hey, RJ sees the ball go in. Hey, maybe he feels that basket's a little bit like the ocean, and he starts hitting those threes more at a consistent rate. He's got to be more control at the rim, and he's got to get to the free throw line. I've been clamoring for this so much with RJ. Like, dude, get to the rim. Like Isaiah was saying, drive as much. But the problem is, when he goes to the rim, he contorts himself, and he makes it hard for the refs to call a foul because he's going wide.
But also,
I think he needs to go straight up.
Yeah. Well, also, he doesn't have the speed. right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Julius Randle and you look at RJ Barrett,
Mhm.
right? When Julius Randle goes to the basket, it's with speed and power. RJ has to
Mhm.
kind of tippy-toe his way to the basket because he doesn't have the speed to blow past the person in front of him. When
He
Randle
doesn't
gets
have the jump also.
exactly. When Randle
It's
gets to
like
the basket, he can elevate.
Mhm.
And Randle doesn't have like super long arms, but because he's able to elevate, right? He gives himself a chance to be able to score at the basket. RJ is grounded when he goes
Yeah.
in, right? He gets all the way to the basket and his feet are still on the floor when he's going up.
Well, he's got to be more crafty. He's got to be more crafty because there's a lot of NBA players that don't have a lot of athleticism and can still get to the line, in my opinion. I mean, so I think he can. I think he can do it. He's just going to have to work on his footwork. He's going to have to work on maybe a shot fake or something. He's got to get more crafty with it, and that's where the coaches I think need to
Well,
work with him more on that.
he does. And I see him trying to do more things around the basket with his footwork. You know what I'm saying? He's got to continue to work on it, but I see him trying to do more things around the basket. We'll see, if he's able to get there. I don't know. It's a funny thing with RJ.
It's tough. It's tough.
It's a funny thing. It is. It's a funny thing with RJ. Stretch run. The Knicks got 22 games left to the season, right? 22 games left. They're currently in the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference, 6 games above 500. They play the Washington Wizards on Friday. Steph, do you see the Knicks being able to move maybe even into the 5th seed? I think they're 2 games below Brooklyn right now.
I think they can. It's a small sample size, but the past 3 games since Josh Hart has been here, I think we're number 1 in offense, and our defense has moved up to number 11. Again, super, super small sample size. So I think it is possible. It just depends on winning the games. I know that's obviously obvious, but it just depends on the Knicks, winning games. I think we have the ninth hardest schedule. But as someone pointed out in one of the replies under one of the videos, a lot of times it's about matchup. We looking at strength of schedule, based on winning percentage, but really it's about, matchups. And I think the Knicks, there's a few teams we don't match up well with in the last 22 games, but a good many of them we do.
Right. Yeah, I think, for our schedule, so we got 22 games left?
22 games.
Let's worst case scenario, let's say the Knicks go 500.
It's going to be 44 and 38.
44 and 38. You can get in the playoffs. Play in.
We in the playoffs.
It should be in the playoffs.
Yeah, unless the bottom drops out.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the good thing is Brooklyn. Let me say this: Brooklyn's a sneaky defensive team, a really good defensive team, but I think they don't have the offensive weapons to match us. I think this year we match up well with the Heat. I think we can definitely beat them. Boston, we usually go 50-50 with Boston. So those are the tough games that they got us doing. So I'm not even gonna say the number. I don't want to jinx us because I don't want to come back on the show and this ain't, but I think the Knicks are gonna end up positive. I think we can get close. I think we can get close to 45 wins, 46 possibly. If we do it, like I said, if we get things to click. One of the great things, Mitchell Robinson's coming back. That's a really great thing. Our defensive is going to be a lot better. Again, with RJ, it's right. It's going to be what it is right now with RJ, man. To me, into the offseason, until I think to me with RJ, he needs to study geometry or whatever the sign of angles are. He needs to work on angles, and is it geometry? I don't want to sound stupid. Is it geometry? Okay, good. Thanks, Josh. Because Sim was looking it up to make sure, because I know how he do.
I was trusting you. You just came back from Cuba. You probably learned something over there.
I learned a little bit. No, so for me though, seriously, with RJ, 3 things I think RJ needs to work on. He needs to work on a pump fake. I think if he works on a pump fake, that will lower him getting blocked, because he gets blocked like just an unusual amount of times for a player his caliber. Yeah. Also, I think he needs to work. You got $20 million. You got $27 million. Go pay Hakeem, pay one of those guys. Listen, go pay Patrick Ewing. Learn some post moves.
Patrick Ewing didn't have like the kind of footwork that RJ needs. Patrick Ewing was literally almost hit this turnaround.
But you know what?
High release, fade away.
Yeah,
But
just fade away.
And big man. So.
And I'm serious when I say he needs to really work on his angles of shots because he has a lot of bunnies. So that means he's going too strong. So I think he needs to work on his touch. I think what he should do is shadow Jalen Brunson for the summer. Shadow Jalen Brunson because Jalen Brunson has excellent footwork. He has extremely great touch. He's an all-star point guard. Go follow your all-star point guard and see what he does. To me, I don't know it's not all gonna apply the next season. It's not 2K where you pick up skill sets and this goes to the next season. But if you get a pump fake, get some of these big guys in the paint to jump, then take the shot, work on your footwork because it is atrocious, and get some touch. Man, you're talking about a whole different player. Then you're talking about.
I was about to say you got a whole.
Yeah, right.
you got a whole new player. But no, those are the things he has to work on the offseason. Now, right now, we got to just deal with what we got with him. We can hope that the defense gets better. The shooting, it is what it is with RJ. Look, I can accept it so far. He's an inefficient player. Like you said, you did the 4.4. He's taking 17 and a half shots. He's taking 18 shots to get 20 points. That's not good. So look, the good thing is we can manage that. I believe we got enough efficient players on the team to manage through RJ. So it is what it is right now with RJ, man. So it is.
Yeah. I mean, I think he is working on his footwork though. You know, I can see little things that he tries to do. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's got a lot of work to do and he's got to get better. But I can see him working on it a little bit. And Aunt D said, "What was that about Ewing's footwork?" And listen, I'm not. Ewing is my favorite Knick ever. But his footwork compared to what you see today,
gotta be fair.
He didn't have that kind of footwork. He was your basic drop step big man, drop step fadeaway. He wasn't.
He did a hell of a job.
That's what he did, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Just saying.
Sim.
In my opinion.
He said, "Don't make me call in, Sim."
Sim, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
How would you grade RJ's form on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being the worst, 5 being the best? Obviously, he's not 5.
I mean, I think it's pretty good. It's got good form.
Do you think he might need to tweak it at all?
No, not really.
No, because
I don't think so.
Look, Nate,
I've seen plenty of people have great form and not be efficient. It's not just about the form; it also is about your accuracy. All of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Tyrese Halliburton has the worst form.
Oh my God!
True. No, yeah. But my thing is and maybe it's just me. I don't know. I'm not a huge aficionado when it comes to forms and all that. But when that ball gets released from his hands, it just looks ugly. It looks like a knuckleball in some aspects.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
But Randall shots look like a knuckleball.
Yeah, for real.
Julius Randle shot like he gonna hit.
Maybe it's because he's a lefty, and I don't watch a lot of. I don't watch a lot of lefty forms.
We got three lefties
on the
on the
team.
team.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. But you look at Brunson's form. Brunson has really good form.
But let me get back to.
I was about to say something back to your question.
Yeah, Andy. The Knicks moving up.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, go ahead. Josh can go.
Thank you.
To me, the Knicks have to go. So 22 games remaining. The Knicks have to do a 2-to-1 ratio on the last remaining 22 games. So I'm thinking maybe 15-8, 15-7.
Don't say it. I didn't want you to say it.
That'll take them. That'll take them to about 47, 48 wins. I think that'll solidify a 5th seed for them. And once we get to that spot, you're looking at, to me, I don't think it'll matter down the road, 2nd round, 3rd round, who we play. But as far as the matchup is concerned, it won't matter 5th seed or 6th seed because you're looking at either Philly, you're looking at Cleveland. And to me, I think that matchup, I think honestly we match up better up against Cleveland than we do Philly. That's just my opinion. I know some people say it's kind of even. They really don't trust Philly like that. I still think we match better against Cleveland than we do Philadelphia because of Joel Embiid. That's just my personal thing. But I think to answer your question, the Knicks need to go 14-8 or 15-7 to solidify that 5th seed.
Okay. All right.
And the question I have, Sam, is even if RJ doesn't get better, even if he stays the way he is right now, can we still get the 5th seed? Or do we think that we need him to rebound in order to get it? I think we could still get it.
I think it'll be tougher.
I agree.
It'll be tougher, but yeah, I think we could still get it. One, because Brooklyn is probably going to drop some, right? So, that's going to give the Knicks a chance there. I think the Knicks play Brooklyn one more time. So right now they're 2 games below Brooklyn. They can close the gap if they beat them the next time they play them. So I think there's definitely, they can definitely do it. Having RJ play efficient basketball is going to make it that much easier, I guess. Let me get to these super chats real quick first, then I'll get back to you. First of all, I want to say to Marion Davis, I don't know, for whatever reason, his super chat isn't fully showing up, but I want to give him a shout out. Gave me a $50 super chat. I really appreciate you. Thank you very much. He said, great show. Who would you say is the top 4 players on the Knicks? Oh, there it is. It did show up.
That was me. I did that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Who would you say is the top 4 players on the Knicks? At one time early in the season, I was going with Brunson as the number 1 player, but with the way Randall was playing, I got to go with Randall now. Randall, Brunson. I'm not sure about RJ, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Obviously, his stats are there, but I like the way Emmanuel Quickly is playing. I like what Mitch gives the Knicks. I like what Josh Hart is doing. I guess you gotta put RJ in there as one of your top 4. Then I'd probably go with Josh Hart right now.
Why?
Quick.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Isaiah. Go ahead, Josh.
No, you said quickly is in there, or you not putting Quickly in there yet?
I didn't put him in there yet, but he's like knocking on the door for me. He's knocking on the door, to maybe even replace RJ. To be honest with you, he's knocking on the door. Not gonna lie.
So after 3 games, Josh Hart's in there, but Quickly's not. Okay, that's okay.
Because I feel like Josh Hart. I mean, there's just more defensively, more in the grunt work type of things that he brings, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That quickly doesn't bring.
Because I gotta head out. For me, the 4 players, if I had to say, in this order, it goes for me: Randall, Jalen Brunson, RJ, and I'm going Quickly. Quickly has been wholeheartedly has a great 6-man case this year. Those are my 4. And also too, I agree with you, Josh. 15-7 is what I realistically have for the Knicks. They can definitely do 15-7. And that's it, guys. Sim.
That's not my prediction, Isaiah. That's what I'm saying. That's what they need to get the 5th spot to solidify.
Oh,
that's not my prediction, though.
Okay. Well, I had them going 15-7 in my head, in my prediction. They could go 57 for the rest of the season. That'll definitely get them to the 5th seed. And we'll probably face Cleveland, and we can hear Sim all playoff seeds talk about we should have got Donovan Mitchell. But
I actually think we can beat Cleveland in the playoffs with Donovan
Mitchell. I do. Sim, to be honest with you, I do too. I think so. If I had to pick, I think if the 2 teams we could beat, I feel like we could definitely beat the Sixers, and I think we could beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, hey guys, I see you later. I gotta go to a meeting.
Right,
Andy, appreciate you. Nate, talk some more. Queen, you're the best. Josh, I still hate you and I love you at the same time. Sim, you do.
All right.
Happy Black History Month, everybody.
Appreciate you, man.
Sim. What? Why do you say Randall over JB?
I feel like what he's doing right now makes him a better player. I don't know if that doesn't make him a better player in the clutch.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like what he's doing is a better player. As far as being able to score the basketball, grabbing rebounds, JB. I tell you what, the Knicks aren't here without either one of those guys. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
You know, I feel like he's more of an all-around player, a little bit more of an all-around player.
But my only argument is that you had Randall last year. Now, I know he didn't play well, but you had Randall last year and pretty much the same team from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, JB takes us to another level.
I get it.
Because you have a point guard that can score in buckets. He's efficient as heck.
I get it.
And he's reaching that star level where you're starting to talk about him in the top point guard conversations.
Right. But let me ask you this. If he was on this team without Randall, would he be the same Jalen Brunson?
You know, I thought about that. Yeah, you're right. You can't answer it, but you know,
because you've never seen it. So you know,
I'd like to see that. I would like to see if that was the case, like how him and Barrett would play together. You know, if Randall wasn't on the team.
I want to see it just the way it is. I don't want to see it. I want to see it just the way it is.
Yeah.
You know,
we also cannot forget it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I have no arguments with anyone that says Jalen Brunson is the best player on the team. I have no arguments with that.
Yeah, I think he is. That's
he is. We're not anywhere without the stat.
But it's close though. It's like yeah. It's not a huge
I personally think it's Randall. But Sim, to your question in regards to the Nets probably dropping off for us to get to the 5th spot or whatever. Don't sleep on Miami. I say this every single year. Miami, we're above them now. Just because we're above some of these teams, I don't want us to just continue looking in the rearview mirror or not look in the rearview mirror and look at the teams that are behind us. Miami is, to me, I still think Miami is a scary team down the stretch. Now, the Knicks fans don't. Obviously, you hate Miami, you hate the Heat. I get it, but I think Miami is a scary team that we need to look out for and don't forget about them.
The reality is we can't take any games off. We have to play hard every game. We have to be there defensively. Randall and JB have to steer the wheel, and you got to hope you get stuff out of guys like Obi, Quick, Barrett, Grimes, and then Mitch is coming back. I mean, but you can't take any games off. That's just period. You got to show up every game, every night.
Yeah. AD said, then why ask the question? I didn't ask the question. Somebody else asked who's the top 4 players, and we just answering. Oh, Ricardo, thank you for the super chat. He says, shout out to Sim and the panel. Wanted you guys' opinion on if we will bring in a free agent or a buyout player before March 1st. If so, do you have a player in mind?
No.
Got a couple roster spots.
If I were going to bring in a player, it would either be a defensive wing or a center. I don't know what's happening with Mitch right now. And when he's, supposed to be coming back. So I'd want some insurance in that area in case Hartenstein or Sims gets hurt. I'd want some insurance there. And then just, so many wings in the league. I don't think you can have enough defensive wings.
And the reality is that anybody's in the buyout market that's a big name or has got noise behind them, they're probably going to go to a better team. They're going to go play with the Suns. They're going to go chase a ring, or they're going to go to the Clippers, the Lakers. I don't know if the Lakers are trying to make a run. They redid the whole team. Who knows? They're only a couple of games out of the sixth seed in the West. But it's very close.
But if you're talking about a team going to a contender, and then you say they're going to go to the Lakers before they go to the Knicks.
Well, I said the Suns first. So, yeah, because Suns need a bench, or the Warriors or something like that. But
Steph, anyone you would have in mind to pick up?
I don't know who's out there. I like Will Barton for insurance. I just want somebody that has some NBA experience, because the playoffs can get tough, and a lot of our guys can disappear. And I just want to have at least somebody on the bench. I know we got Fournier. I know we got Rose, who have some experience that in those type of situation, if somebody looks shook, that we can put, we have somebody on the bench that we can put in.
Right. Andy?
That stuff, that was music to Sim's ears. He got a guy, a wing, just waiting. He might not help you on the defensive end, but he's not gonna shrink and vanish on the offensive though. So you
already know.
Yeah. Listen, I'm with Sim. Like Sim said, any kind of wing, because I'm pretty much sure that Tibbs would rather have a more experienced guy instead of Obi, even coming off the bench for those couple of minutes. And the same with the center position. I know that there aren't many experienced centers that are worth taking a look at, because if I'm correct, I think Ibaka already signed somewhere. So that was the guy that I kind of saw that could maybe be that really backup guy that would help guys, to teach some kind of defensive positioning, some kind of rebounding and stuff like that, even in this short stint till the end of the season. But since it's not going to happen, I was thinking about Pat Beverly, but he already chose the Bulls. So I think there's literally no big names that were off the buyout market that I would be interested in.
And that just goes to show everybody's not going to contenders.
Right.
And
Exactly.
Pat Beverly tweeted that he's going to do a playoff push with the Bulls now.
Well, they need a point guard really bad, so he could fit that spot, and he's defensive too.
Right. Josh, anybody you'd have in mind?
I mean, well, the obvious answer is Carmelo Anthony. Sim mentioned wings. I mean, he's not going to be a defensive wing, but I think experience, someone in the locker room that can, basically be another veteran in the locker room, can fill in some minutes whenever we need him. I would go Carmelo Anthony, and that's simply based on the fact that he was a former Knick. This could be a twilight tour for him, and everyone else is gone.
Right.
Everyone else is gone. You know what I'm saying? Danny Green's gone. That would be someone I would be interested in, but he's ready going back to Cleveland, I believe. Pat Beverly, players like that. So that's the only obvious answer that I see that's available right now. Bryn Forbes about to get locked up. So
who was that?
Yeah. Bryn Forbes, former.
He got arrested.
Spurs.
Yeah.
That's why he said locked up. Not with a contract.
That's what I thought he said. I was like, did he get signed after I thought he got arrested? For sure.
My thing with Melo is, I think Melo's going to want to. I think he's going to want to know that he's going to play. That's what I think.
Right.
You know what I mean? So whoever he signs with, I think he's going to say, hey, I'm either playing, if I'm not playing, then I'm not signing. I think he'd rather, if he's just going to sit on the end of the bench and be an insurance policy, I think he'd rather just watch his son play basketball. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know.
Or sign with a team like a Suns, right? Just maybe he's going to get that ring like half price.
So I don't know if, I don't know if he signs with the Knicks, because is he going to play? I think that's the question. Is he going to play?
Right.
Not that he's not better than the guys than guys that we have on the team, but is Tom Thibodeau going to play him? I think that would be the question. Tom Thibodeau says, yeah, you're going to play, then he would, I think you would see him sign. So.
And whose minutes? If they promised him that, then that means
Obi's minutes.
That means Obi's minutes gone.
Oh,
yeah.
And let's give Obi credit. The last game he played really well. I don't know what he had, like 10 points or something. He had a couple of threes. He had an and one. Like, if Obi could just give us, I don't know, 10 points, I guess, maybe, or around less.
10 minutes. That's asking a lot.
Hey, but if you watched him in that game, I mean, he didn't force anything. He just was wide open, made the threes. I mean, we've seen that from Obi in the past. Like, Obi misses those threes. If he could just make those threes, and oh my God, if he could get some kind of mid-range jumper, I would love it. But like, I mean, obviously, if a big comes available, yeah, we could definitely use a veteran in the playoffs. But I'm just saying, I'm giving Obi a little bit like, hey, if he can just keep getting better and get more confident and make those open shots, hey, he can help us.
Well, we'll see. But ladies and gentlemen,
give me Will Barton.
Isaiah, he came in just to let us know that he wants Will Barton.
I do, Sim. I want Will Barton.
And you see his boss told him, listen, you can't have your hat on at work that doesn't look professional. Take it off.
Nah, Sim, I gotta tell you something funny. So I love, right? I thought I had a work meeting. I came in a work meeting, nobody was there. I was like, wait, I got fired? Nobody was in the work meeting. I had to call my friends. I was like, "Hey, what's going on? All right?"
Wonk, wonk.
You
Play the music, Sim.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, I made it another day.
There
I'm
you
good.
go. There you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Friday, the Knicks take on the Wizards in Washington, D.C. If you're going to be at the game, make sure you join us at Guy Fieri's D.C. Bar, Kitchen and Bar. All right, make sure you join us there before and after the game, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're going to be in town, if you're going to be at the game, join us there. We'll be there, and Steph, you're going to be there, just kind of hosting the watch party there.
Watch party for those who not going to the game but just want to hang out and watch the game.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
so make sure that you're there, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be pretty dope. I'm going to get out of here because I do have to get to practice. But any last words before we roll, Steph?
Looking forward to Friday's MBK event. Is always fun, and I'll be there for the entire weekend this time. So I'm definitely looking forward to
what man you got out there, girl?
The National African American Museum, and just seeing Washington. I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to the basketball starting again.
Yeah,
They play back to back Friday and Saturday.
Real basketball,
exactly. Andy.
Yes, Sim. I don't know if we're gonna have a pregame show on Friday from DC or.
I'm looking. I'm still confirming everything with the restaurant, but I'm pretty sure we will.
Okay, so I'm definitely gonna try to hop on if you're gonna have panelists. If not, I'm gonna be definitely watching the pregame show. I might even stick with to watch the game live if Steph is gonna be doing something online or just gonna be watching. I'm cool with that. So, and like Nate said, I'm happy that real basketball is back and not these entertaining
shooting
events,
45 footers
and stuff like that. So let's go Knicks.
All right, Uncle Fulio.
And just a quick note. So Thursday the 23rd, the Knicks have to add a player to the roster. They have to have their roster set by February 23rd, which is Thursday. So we can expect them to make a quick signing or elevate someone from the G League.
You mean
two-way contract, one of those
for the playoffs?
Is that the playoffs? They have to have their roster.
I think the playoffs eligibility is like March 1st. That you got to sign a player before that day for him to be able to play in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what
I just read somewhere that it was this Thursday. So they have to sign someone. So either they pick up, one of the players that we were talking about, or they elevate someone. I expect them to do the latter. Go Knicks and let's get it going.
All right. Yep. Nate.
Hey, it's playoff push. We're in the dance. Let's keep it going. Let's not fall out of the playoffs. And RJ. Hey, one thing about RJ I can say is that he always shows up when it really matters most in games. At times, well, I mean, like he plays in big spots. He shows up sometimes. But the thing is, I think that he's gonna have a really good run here. I think he's heard a lot of negativity, and I think he's taken it all, and he carries that chip on his shoulder, and I think he's gonna make a good run going to the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
He's gonna get hot.
Isaiah.
What everybody said, honestly, we know what RJ has to do to elevate the team to get better. Playoff push, 15 to 7. That should pretty much book us in to the 6th seed or 5th seed. And honestly, on a serious note, I just want to say, Sim, super, super proud of you, man. I know you put a lot of work in coaching, and I'm really happy that you won a championship, man. You put a lot of work in with those girls, man. Between even back when you was coaching your daughter and all them, I've seen it, man. So super proud of you, man. I'm happy that you won it, and I want you to keep winning. I want you to, whatever the last thing is, I want you to be in it. You better win it.
We're gonna take it one day at a time.
There you go, one day at a time.
It's like the Knicks. Take it one day at a time, one game at a time.
That's it.
But kudos, man.
I got the champagne. I got my money on you. So yeah, we good.
No doubt, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. Out of here. Peace.
This is MBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, that it's Number one show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.